Hi, my name is Sonia Paradzi, and today I wondered, are the microplastics and the nanoplastics harmful for health? Recently, we learned that if the Conservative Party of Canada is elected, it will overturn the rule that forbids, since a few years, some single-use plastic products such as grocery bags, straws, utensils, and takeout containers. What are the microplastics? Microplastics come from the degradation of bigger objects made of plastic or of fibers and beads that are used in some cosmetic and cleaning products. The size of microplastics goes from 1 micrometer, which is 1 out of 1 million meter, and the size of microplastics goes up to 5 millimeters. We measure the size of nanoplastics in nanometers. So a nanometer is 1 out of 1 billion meter. The circumference of a hair is approximately 70 micrometers. Here I gave other examples. To work with the smaller numbers, I started from 1 millimeter. So 1 millimeter equals to 1,000 micrometers, and 1 millimeter equals also 1 million nanometers. So first, if we take a virus, a virus is not a cell. There is a little mistake here from the table that I found on the internet. A virus is a infectious agent. Okay, it is smaller than a cell. It is not a cell, it is smaller than that. Its size varies between 0.03 micrometers to 0.8 micrometers. So we see that it is smaller than 1 micrometer. If we want to see how many nanometers it is, we move the point of 3 positions towards the right. So it will give 30 nanometers to 100 nanometers. Since the viruses are smaller than 1 micrometers, we need absolutely to see them with an electron microscope. We cannot see them with a light microscope. After that, the smallest cell are the bacteria. Their size varies between 0.5 micrometers to 5 micrometers. They are very, very small. So we can see them, yes, with a light microscope, but they are small. If we want to see details, such as their hair, we need to use an electron microscope. So we use both of them, light microscope or electron microscope, when we want to analyze bacteria. Then, if we look at the size of the human cells, the smallest is the sperm cell. Its smallest size is 2.3 micrometers. And the biggest human cell is the mature human ovum. And it may go up to 150 micrometers. And for them, we can use easily a light microscope to see them. Bigger than that, we have the amoeba with approximately 300 micrometers. As a comparison, a grain of salt is approximately also 300 micrometers. Sorry. Here I put a study published in Environmental International in May 2022. This study is entitled Discovery and Quantification of Plastic Particle Pollution in Human Blood. In this article, we can read, it is scientifically plausible that plastic particles may be transported to organs via the bloodstream. The human placenta has been shown to be permeable to 50, 80, and 240 nanometer polystyrene beads, and likely also to micro-sized polypropylene. In a study of acute lung exposure to nanopolystyrene spheres of 20 nanometers in rats, the translocation of plastic particles to placental and fetal tissues was demonstrated. Bioaccumulation of small polystyrene microparticles in the liver, kidney, and gut was observed after oral administration in mice in vivo. There was another study published in the journal Toxicological Sciences entitled Quantitation and Identification of Microplastics Accumulation in Human Placental Specimens Using Pyrolysis Gas Chromatography Mass Spectrometry. That study was published in May 2024. In that study, they performed the analysis of approximately 60 placenta samples. And in their analysis, they saw that all of them was contaminated by microplastics. When we discussed that issue with some people at the Institut National de la Recherche Scientifique, here is what they said. What we know from animal models is that plastics alter the structure and therefore the functions of the placenta. Any default or modification of the placental functioning is an indication that something happened during the pregnancy. It may have impacts for the baby at the short, medium, and long term on health, but for the mother too. In addition to that, there is a worrying problem. The problem of the nanoplastics is even more worrying and more complex, warns the teacher Daniel Cyr, owner of the Canada Research Chair in Reproductive Toxicology at the Institut National de la Recherche Scientifique. Microplastics can cause inflammation, and inflammation will have the effect of opening the cell barriers that would normally remain closed. Moreover, there are more and more studies that show that there are a lot of other molecules that may bind to plastics, like pollutants, pesticides, hydrocarbons, metals. We had not realized that all those products can be carried by microplastics towards some organs. I added in here an article published in the American Journal of Men's Health. It is entitled Microplastics May Be a Significant Cause of Male Infertility. It was published in May 2022. In the abstract, we can read, in the last 80 years, male semen analysis parameters have shown a significant decline for unknown reasons, speculated to be caused by pollutants. No studies examined the relationship between human microplastic exposure and male infertility. In this article, we reviewed the relevant animal experimental research literature in recent years and calculated that the minimum human equivalent dose of microplastics leading to abnormal male semen quality is 0.016 milligram per kilogram per day. The literature comparison found that microplastic exposure in Japan and South Korea was close to this value. These results suggest that microplastics can affect male semen quality and that microplastics may significantly impact male fertility. I added also another article. This one was published in Medical Review in October 2024, and it is entitled Microplastic Exposure is Associated with Male Reproductive Health. According to this article, the global surge in plastic production, particularly in China, over the past half century, so between 1970s to 2020s, has been juxtaposed with a stark decline in the semen quality of donors, precipitously plummeting post-2010 to the present. Those results are described in Figure 1, which reveals a disconcerting inverse relationship where the burgeoning plastics industry has flourished in tandem with the retreat from optimal male reproductive health. So let's look at Figure 1. In orange, we can see the global plastic yield in millions of tons. In green, we see the plastic yield in China. And then when we look at the blue curve, that is the semen quality of donors in percentage. What we see is that more we have plastics, less we have a good quality of semen in donors. Now, if I come back to my original question, are the microplastics and the nanoplastics harmful for health? The answer is it seems so. Even though plastics may be useful, eliminating the non-essential plastics, such as grocery bags, straws, utensils, and takeout containers, seems to me a wise decision to protect our health. During my presentation, I showed you all my references. If you have more questions, if you want to have more details, feel free to go in those references. I thank you a lot for having listened to me, and I wish you a wonderful day.